Hi guys, welcome to our channel. So in this tutorial, we are going to create a simple React application that just validate the user input whether it is a lowercase or not. So without wasting the further more time, let's start the tutorial. We will use the npx create React app with the project name to create the React template. Just wait for this command to install all the dependencies to your project. Now let's open the project in a code editor. I personally use the Visual Code Studio. To open Visual Studio, you have to type code dot in your terminal, which will open the project in your Visual Code Studio. So after opening the project in Visual Code Studio, there's a lot of folders you can see in the directory like node modules, public source, everything. So in the source directory, we have a app.js. So the inside the app.js, so let's first delete the header component that is predefined by the React team. Now let's create a form component which will hold all the input elements. So inside the form, let's create a div element with a class name of input box, which we will use for the CSS purpose. So inside the div component, let's create a label tag which has a property named HTML4, which we will provide the name user input, which we will reference to the input element. So let's give it a name. Let's give it the label a name as a username. So after the label element, we will create an input element of type text with the ID similar to the what we have given in the HTML4. That is the user input. We will use the use state hook that is provided by the React. So after the input element, we will have a button of type submit, which will basically submit the form. So in the input field, we have a one more thing like on change handler. So we will create our new function that is handle change, which will trigger every time when the user inputs something. So this handle change function accepts a param that is the event handler. So event contains all the information related to that input box. So if you need to extract the value, then you need to destruct it from the event.target. So after we get the value, we will just assign it to our user state using the set user function. So after that, let's try to run it on our browser like using the yarn start command. Yeah, so it will by default open at local 3000 port. You can change it inside your package.json, but for now it is good. So right now we are missing the submit button because we haven't assigned any name between the tags. So let's make it a change. Yeah, now it is visible. Yeah, now we can see the submit button. So if someone tries to enter anything, if user type anything in the input box and after that click on the submit, then it will route to the next page, but form doesn't know where it should go. So it's just pointing out to the question mark, but still it's reloading the whole page. That's why we are losing our user state. So to prevent that behavior, we need to create a handle submit button which will pass to the form on submit property. So basically what with this handle function handle submit will do, handle submit, we will call the prevent default function which makes sure that on submit, when we click on when the user click on submit, it doesn't reload the whole page again. So to check that, let's console out the user first. So if you go to the browser again and try to reload the same port, and if you type anything in the input box and click on the submit, the page doesn't reload again and the user state is preserved, and you can see the output there in the console window, right? As the input box is empty, but still it allow me to submit the code, right? And also you can see like even if I'm typing the uppercase letter, it's not warning me. I should show some error on the screen. So let's create a div tag outside the input box component with a class name of error, which we will add in the CSS a little later. But yeah, there is a class with the error which will hold the error state. So for the error state, we need to create one more state named error using the same React hook, that is useState. And similarly, we will create one more field, one more state, that is valid state, whether the user has input is correct or not. So let's create a one more state valid, which has same the valid and the set valid using the useState function. Yeah. And also create one div element for the valid state as well with a class name valid. Just go back to the handle change. Yeah. So where we will implement the logic, like when we have to show the error and when we have to show the valid state. Okay. So for the lowercase, what we will go, we will use the JavaScript default function, that is two lowercase function, to compare both the values the user has typed and after the conversion. If they both are equal, then it means that it's already lowercase. We will display the user input is valid, and if any of the character is uppercase, then we will display the error block. So let's check with the error first. If user has typed any uppercases, then we will set the error state to user must be a lowercase. Okay. Yeah, so this is the error occur because I have used the lowercase in which the C is a camel case, but I use the C as lowercase. Yeah. Now let's rerun the application and type somewhat capital letter. You can see, like, if we type the S, then it shows the error on the screen, like username should be the lowercase. I've just deleted the uppercase, but still it's showing me the error, right? So we need to make sure, like, if user deleted the uppercase, then we should show the correct state, right? So let's go back to the code editor. Let's set the state for the set valid. Because it's a lowercase, then we will show the valid block. Otherwise, we will show the error block. So in case of valid block, we will use the value that is in the input box and use that to set the valid state. So basically, if you type codes up, so it will show the codes up is valid lowercase name. So let's try to rerun it again on the browser. Okay, yeah, you can see, like, I have typed anything, like it's showing me the correct output, right? But now if I typed anything uppercase, then you can see, like, both the messages are getting displayed. So this is not ideal, right? Let's get back to the code editor. Then let's set the correct state in each case. Okay, now let's rerun. Let's state are getting changed correctly. As soon as you clear the input, right, you can see, like, the empty block is still a valid lowercase name. That shouldn't be the case, right? You should handle for the empty block or shouldn't allow him to submit the form. So let's go to the code editor. So let's first fix, like, didn't show any error. So it should be that if it's lowercase in the first block of if condition, if the value of length, that means if value of length is greater than anything above 0, it will be true, and if false, then it will show the null. So this will handle our case, like when the user deleted everything, then it will not show any of the block, not the error, not the valid status. But now there is one case, like user are still able to submit the form. We need to restrict it. Like, if the user input the uppercase, then we should restrict him. Like, the submit button should be disabled, or when the input is empty, that at that time also the button should be disabled. Let's get back to the code editor. When the users click on the submit button, then it should show me the alert. Instead of the console, it should show me the alert. So inside the button tag, there is a property, disabled property. Okay, so we need to add the logic to disable when there is an error. So you can use the boolean class and pass the error state to determine whether there is an error or not. So you can see, like, if you refresh the browser and type anything, type the lowercase, then the submit button will not be disabled. But if you type anything uppercase, then the submit button will be disabled. But still the space, but still the empty block is able to submit the form. So let's fix it. So in that case, we need to check whether the field, whether the user has some length or not. So we will use the property dot length. If it's less than 1, that means the input is still empty, input block is empty, and we need to disable the submit button. So let's do that. Let's rerun the program, and you can see, like, the on the first render, the submit button is empty, submit button is disabled, and as soon as you type the lowercase, it start allowing you to submit the form. Or when you type the uppercase, then it will again disable the submit button. Yeah, so now this is it for this tutorial. So let's add some CSS. You can do more on your own. I will just add a little bit of CSS. Like, for the error message, it should be the red, and for the success message, it should be the green. So as you can see in the input box, as you read into the application, like, it will display the correct error and the valid state along with their color. Yeah, so I have a CSS in my file. I will just copy paste here. You can add or you can modify it accordingly. Whatever you type, it will show the name. And if you type the lowercase, then it will show the valid statement in a green color. And if you type anything uppercase, then it will show you the warning, show you the error message in a red color. Yeah, so this is it for this tutorial. I hope you guys like the tutorial. Feel free to drop any comments in the comment section down below. I've added a link to this post to our website. You can visit that website, and I've also added the link to the GitHub repository. You can clone it to your local. Thanks and have a great day. So it will take some time